have the opportunity to share with you, and all of the glory goes to God for allowing our team to land in the top 3 of Diamond Division. It is an honor to share the stage with my sweet friends, Shelly, Kaylin, and Deborah Bailey, who are women of excellence and exude the go-give spirit. Congratulations to you, Deborah and Shelly, and your amazing teams for another extraordinary year. And thank you to my unit, who once again showed up and did not back down. You are women of excellence, and you continue to shine as you remain consistent and faithful. It is a privilege to be your leader. Love you. Well, I want to start by asking each of you a question. Where are you in your Mary Kay business? And if you're not where you want to be, what's holding you back? Do you know your purpose? Do you have a vision of where you want to go? I remember when I started my Mary Kay business 14 years ago, I was clueless. I loved my life as a mom, a pastor's wife, and working part-time as a mother-baby nurse. I was not looking for more. I didn't know I needed the Mary Kay opportunity. I certainly did not see it as the vehicle that God would use to help me fulfill my purpose in life. But now looking back, I can't imagine my life without Mary Kay. And I can see how God has used this opportunity to stretch me out of my comfort zone, to give me opportunities I could have never imagined for myself or found anywhere else. It was extremely hard for me to say yes to Mary Kay for many reasons. First, I didn't want to be a salesperson. Second, I was so afraid of what other people would say about me or what they would think of me. And of course, I was afraid of failure. But there was such a deep excitement that I couldn't explain. I knew God was opening the door for me, and I needed to trust Him and walk through the door. I ordered my starter kit with fear and trembling when my daughter literally pried my debit card out of my hand and said, "Mom, you'll never know until you try." And from that point on, I prayed daily with my hands open. Lord, I don't know why I'm here, but whatever you want to do in me and through me, I just give it back to you. I certainly didn't see how this could be a ministry to women like my nursing was, but it didn't take long to discover that it is indeed a huge opportunity that would allow me to touch more lives than would have ever been possible through my nursing. It took a lot of faith and courage to step out, but my desire was to be obedient. I continued to take the next steps as my sales director encouraged me to do, and each step began to build my confidence. I became passionate about sharing the Mary Kay products after I experienced complete change in my skin, and I've always said Mary Kay is the best kept secret. I started to get a vision of building a successful business and made a commitment to become consistent, even though at this point it was my side hustle. I loved being a nurse, and I always saw myself working as many years as I could. So this was a ginormous step of faith, but He made it clear, and I was obedient. Not only did He say, nursing was a season for you, I have something bigger for you and you have to trust me. He also said, you must never look back. To most people, this would have not even made sense, but I knew I had to trust God. Up until this point, I had one foot in Mary Kay and one foot in nursing. I was straddling the fence, believing I could do both, but God made it clear to me that nursing was for a season, and He was transitioning me into a new season. So in faith, I walked into this new season, and I have never looked back. So let me ask you a question. What season are you in? Do you know you're right where you're supposed to be? Or could God be calling you to more? Don't be afraid to trust God when He's calling you to more. You know it's more if it requires faith. It's in the faith zone where you may feel unsafe, extremely uncomfortable, but you will learn to depend on God like you never would if you stay in the safe zone. It's in the faith zone where I have seen God do exceedingly more than I could have ever thought or imagined. And although it was scary, it scares me even more to think, what if I had not stepped out? How much growth, freedom, flexibility, confidence, and community I would have missed out on. We don't have to see the whole picture before we take that next step of obedience. If you are feeling stuck, could it be that you've been unwilling to take that next step of faith? Are you waiting until every question is answered? If you wait until every question has been answered before you move, you'll never do anything. Senior National Sales Director Cindy Fox recommended a book to me a few months back called Take Hold of Your Dream by Jenison Franklin. And in his book, he talks about responding in faith and that there's something about an immediate response that impresses God. The rest of your response involves stepping out and walking by faith. He describes it as God giving you a piece to a puzzle. If you find the place where the one piece fits and you step forward, he will hand you another piece. If you move, when he says move, the details will fit themselves in. As I have walked this journey the past 14 years, I have learned that God has more for me than I could have ever imagined. But it continues to take courage and faith to step out and take hold of it. It's so easy for us to listen to the noise and the negativity around us and let seeds of doubt start to grow, which can paralyze us and hold us back and keep us from our purpose. I believe the first step in finding success is to discover your purpose. So get clear on your purpose. When you know your purpose, you can get into action. The next step to success is getting into action and remaining consistent. I love this quote from Dwayne Johnson. Success isn't always about greatness, it's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. Too many of us just want the greatness and are unwilling to do the hard work. It's in the daily disciplines that yield big results. It takes time and effort to build something that will last. When I started my Mary Kay business, I decided to focus on consistently building my customer base and my team. And 14 years in, I continue to build my customer base and my personal team year after year. I would say it's paid off. I currently have 126 personal team members in my unit. And my customer base, thank you, and my customer base is large enough that my personal sales in June truly bridged the gap to help our team over the finish line. That did not happen overnight. It is the result of 14 years of consistently booking and holding appointments to share the products and the opportunity. When is the last time you did a power start? When is the last time you shared the opportunity? You won't get consistent results until you have consistent action. Mary Kay really is simple. It is not always easy, but it is simple. We just tend to let life get in the way and use it as an excuse instead of finding a way to work around it. Back in January, I had made a commitment to do 3 months of consistent power starts. While at leadership conference, we got a call that my mother-in-law had fallen and broken her hip. So we had to make an unexpected trip to Florida. I decided to follow through with my commitment and find a way to do my 30 faces. I started booking virtual facials and I took samples with me so I could mail them out as I booked them. I even booked one of her nurses and I did her virtually once I returned home. I did 8 faces on the drive back home, several in the car from mall parking lots while my husband shopped, and 1 session in a Starbucks. I ended up with 40 faces, a huge amount in sales, and my 40th face became a Great Start qualified team member. That gave me the confidence to continue with my next 2 months of 30 Faces and brought me so many new customers and new team members that I would have never found had I let the unexpected life event become an excuse. Life will happen. Decide before it happens that you will find a way to pivot and stay true to your commitment. We must remain consistent. Consistent action wins every time. I have also learned to trust the process. There's one thing you can take to the bank, and that is the process of booking, selling, and sharing works. Most people don't give it a chance. We don't do it long enough to see the results. Most people give up at the first disappointment or cancellation. Trust the process and be patient. The outcome will be worth the wait. And do everything with an attitude of excellence, always striving to be your best. One of my favorite Bible verses says, whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart as working for the Lord, not for man. The difference between a highly successful person and an average person is 3 words, and then some. Do you find yourself doing just enough to get by, or are you going the extra mile? I have always been committed to giving A+ customer service. It doesn't matter if you have 5 customers or 5,000 customers. They all deserve A+ customer service. This will set you apart and will increase your customer loyalty. It also builds trust with your customers, and they in turn will be more willing to refer you to their friends and family. So always strive to work your business with excellence and continue to be faithful in the small things. Big moments don't come to people who wait for big moments. Big moments come out of faithfulness in little, insignificant moments of doing routine, menial things that are not glamorous and not really exciting. It's being disciplined to sit down and make the booking calls.
Yes.
It's having 30 seconds of courage to ask that person that you've been afraid to ask. It's trusting the process that if I'm willing to do these things, I know the results will follow. I want to tell you about my last 3 qualified team members that I had join my team in June. I was committed to selling more than I ever have in June to help my team over the finish line, and I knew what that meant. I had to be willing to ask. I reached out to a lady in my church who I thought about asking before, but for some reason I'd been afraid to. But I had 30 seconds of courage, and I asked her. Turns out she already had a beauty consultant, but she offered to find me someone, so she gave me a referral. I reached out to the referral and booked her for a facial, and she fell in love with the products and took home skincare and makeup that day. But she reached out about a week later and bought even more. We talked about the business opportunity and she decided to join my team. She started her business in June 21st as a Ruby Star consultant. On June 23rd, one of my customers reached out to place a large order, and I thought I should ask her to join my team and show her for a little bit more. You can become a great start beauty consultant and take advantage of free product bundles. I was afraid to ask, but she joined my team and thanked me for giving her that option. We are planning her first party. My 3rd team member was someone I had tried to connect with a few months back but never could. I was a little afraid to try again, but I knew it was a no if I didn't ask, so I found my 30 seconds of courage again and sent her a message asking if she would be a virtual face for me. She responded immediately, yes. And then I said, no pressure, but if you have a few friends that would like to join us, that would be great. We had 3 on the Zoom. They fell in love with the skincare. I shared the business opportunity. She texted me the next day. I have my order together. It's pretty large. But after talking to my husband last night and looking at the book, I think I want to become a beauty consultant. I would love to be a part of your team. She signed up on the 26th and became Great Start Qualified Plus and is excited to share Mary Kay with her circle of influence. How many times do we talk ourselves out of asking, what if I'd not asked those 3? What if I didn't trust the process? Are you willing to trust the process? I believe so many are spending time trying to find the shortcut. They want to take the easy way out, or they're searching for the secret. The secret is working consistently and trusting the process. I believe we all know what to do. We just need to do more of it. I want to challenge you to discover your purpose. then get into action and remain consistent, trusting the process. The results will follow. Remain committed when life gets hard. It truly is in those times of remaining faithful and the hard times that you'll see God do things that will blow your mind. I believe God can accomplish more in a day than we can accomplish in a lifetime, but He is looking for those who will be faithful with the little so He can trust you with more. Will you be trustworthy with the opportunity you've been given, or will you squander it? Your success will be determined by your faithfulness, so don't wait to start doing what you know to do. Forrest Gump said life is like a box of chocolates. I believe it's more like a puzzle. So start putting together your pieces of your puzzle today and find your purpose and reach your goals. Have a great seminar. Thank you.
Let's give it up again for the number 3 sales director in the Diamond Seminar, Senior Sales Director Sherrie Purvis.